Alrighty, fellow travelers, welcome back to the Adventures of a Traveling Don. My name is Benjamin O, and today I am going to be sharing with you my top 15 things to do and places to see while you are in Athens, Greece. Number 1, the Parthenon and the Acropolis of Athens. The Parthenon, of course, is a resplendent marble temple built between 447 and 432 BC during the height of Hellenistic Greek culture and political power. Dedicated to the Greek goddess of Athena, the temple now is a shadow of its former self and yet still showcases the powerful symbol of ancient Greece and Athenian culture. It is today one of the most recognizable structures on the earth. And while exploring the Parthenon, don't forget to explore the other parts of the Acropolis, including the Odeon of Herodotus, the Dionysus Temple, and many, many more. There are so many cultures that have passed through Greece, ruled over Greece at different times. You have Roman, Byzantine, many, many different structures that atop the Acropolis that must be visited when you are there. Number 2, Lycabettus Hill. This is a large park just west of the Acropolis and worth checking out for both its scenic beauty and, of course, its history as well. You have places such as the Pnyx Hill, the prison of Socrates, and Lycabettus Monument. And I will say some of the best views of the city can be seen from that hill. And of course, you get some great photos of the Parthenon atop the Acropolis from that area, particularly from the Pnyx Hill. Absolutely phenomenal. And it's one of my favorite places for a sunset in Athens. Number 3, the ancient Agora of Athens. What was once a meeting place for philosophy, commerce, trade, religion, and culture, this is now an archaeological museum that is fantastic to go through. Places from the Stoa of Attalos, which has been rebuilt and kind of gives you a vibe of what life used to be like in ancient Athens. And then of course you have things such as Roman baths, the Temple of Hephaestus. There's so much to see when you go to the ancient Agora of Athens and plenty of history to learn. Number 4, the Acropolis Museum. If you truly want to delve into the history of the Acropolis, you definitely want to check out the Acropolis Museum just east and south of the Acropolis itself. It is a phenomenal museum, very, very well put together, and the amount of statues, steles, and so much artwork from ancient Greece that they have recovered during their archaeological digs is all culminated into this one amazing museum, and it is definitely worth the admission price. Number 5, and rounding out the ancient history part of this tour of Athens, you want to go to the sanctuary of Olympian Zeus. Actually one of the oldest temples in Athens, Greece, and this started back in the 6th century BC, but it was never fully finished, I believe, until the time of Emperor Hadrian of the Roman Empire. Even still, it is an architectural marvel of ancient Hellenistic Greece that you definitely want to check out while you are in Athens. Number 6, the Athens National Garden. Looking for a little getaway while you're in the bustling city of Athens? Highly recommend coming down to the National Garden. It is a huge park that has different water features. It's got a small zoo, beautiful just paved walkways that go in and out of palm trees, a forest down there, and of course there is a botanical gardens as well. So I highly recommend if you're looking for a natural getaway while still being in the city just southeast of Syntagma Square, Athens National Garden is the place for you. Number 7, visiting the Hellenic Parliament and the Monument to the Unknown Soldier. This is a war memorial dedicated to Greek soldiers, and of course this is where you come to see the changing of the guards in Athens. I will say it is a really cool experience. They do it, I believe, on the hour, every hour, throughout every day, even I think at nighttime. However, there is a special one on Sundays, I believe, is when they kind of do a whole sort of like train of soldiers that comes through. Either way, you want to see the changing of the guards at the Hellenic Parliament, definitely check that out. Number 8, Lycabettus Hill. Just north of the Hellenic Parliament, this is one of the higher points in all of Athens, and it is a great viewing point. You can basically either hike all the way up, or you can take the cable car up to the top, to the viewing area. There is a restaurant there that you can have lunch, but it is a great spot to just check out and get a bird's eye view of all of downtown Athens. An absolutely epic shot to check out. Number 9, the Varvakios Central Municipal Market, or the Athens Central Market. This, when it comes to food and trade, this is now the modern hub of Central Athens, just south of Omonia Station and Square. This place, if you're looking for fish, for lamb, for beef, chicken, spices, everything that you could think of, you want to go there. It is a phenomenal place. Right next door to it is also one of the oldest coffee houses in Athens, Mokia. Definitely check all of that out. I am a big sucker when it comes to markets. Definitely want to be on your list when you go to Athens. Number 10, and probably my personal favorite thing that I did in all of my time in Athens, I highly recommend taking a food tour. I will leave a link in the description specifically for the food tour that I did. It is, I believe, the #1 rated Airbnb experience in all of Greece. It was phenomenal. Rachel and Ariella were great hosts, and they took me through all of kind of like Central Athens places to go and eat that are a little bit more hidden than the kind of major structures around the Acropolis and Acropolis Museum that kind of take you also into the market that we just talked about. So there's a lot to learn when it comes to food in Greece, and you definitely want to check this tour out. Number 11, again, kind of getting away from the major parts of Athens, I highly recommend going down to Starvos Niarchos Park. This is at the bottom of Calathea, which is kind of the southern part of Athens, and it is a great spot. Number one, you get down near the marina and the water, so you can kind of check that out. There's a water park down there. There is a Taekwondo Olympic stadium down there, which was rather fascinating to learn. And of course, the park itself is rather massive, has a lot of great fun things for both the kids and adults. They have the Greek opera down there, and there's a lot of great viewing points of that southern part of Athens. It's kind of a great spot to get away from all the craziness of all the touristic stuff when it comes to Athens. Number 12, explore Piraeus. This is the port of Athens and one of the largest ports in all of Europe when it comes particularly to cruise ships. And you want to take a full day to truly experience. There are a lot of historical places to see, great spots to eat. Of course, you have a lot of great spots along the water where you can get a great sunset. And there is also a Piraeus Archaeological Museum, which goes back to Hellenistic times as well. So if you're getting into that history again, definitely check out that particular museum. But Piraeus is sort of a great sort of day trip while still in the Athens vicinity to check out while in Athens, Greece. Number 13, driving down the coast of Attica to the Cape of Sunion and, of course, the Temple of Poseidon. This is the most southern point of Attica, and it is a gorgeous spot. The entire drive is well worth it just in and of itself, but once you get to the Cape, particularly if you can time it right in time for a beautiful sunset, you want to talk about fantastic natural beauty. That is what you're going to get. The Cape itself is amazing. The temple is really cool. And they do have a place where you down there where you can get something to eat as well. But I highly recommend taking a drive down the southern coast of Attica all the way to the Temple of Poseidon. Well worth the trip. Number 14, visiting ancient Corinth and, of course, the iconic Acropolis. This is about an hour west of Athens. This one I do recommend getting your own car for, unless you can get a tour that goes directly to there, which they do have. But I highly recommend kind of exploring it yourself. There's a small little town there called Archaea Corinthos, where the archaeological museum for the old town of Corinthos used to be. You can visit that. It's a great archaeological museum, lots of history to learn. And then, of course, go up the hill to the Acropolis. You want to talk about one of the most fantastic structural fortresses that I've ever seen. Well worth the visit. And of course, from the top of the Acropolis, the views of that entire area, the peninsula, is just phenomenal. You want to talk about one of the best views I've ever seen while traveling Greece. Going to the top of the Acropolis is a must. Number 15, and the finale. This one is my personal favorite, and that is the Temple of Delphi, where myth, legend, and history all come together. This was once the center of the world when it came to the Greeks. Home of the Oracle of Delphi, known as the Pythia, built as late as the 8th century BC. This was a phenomenal place to visit. From the olive groves to the mountains to the archaeological museum to the valleys, so much to see in that area. If you are into history, if you're into mythology, particularly Greek mythology, this is a place that you cannot miss. And on your way there and back, there is a little town called Arachova, which I highly recommend visiting. The kind of winding streets, the hills, walking up and down this small little town was a great gem in and of itself and well worth visiting. Alrighty, Travel Down, so that was my top 15 things to do and places to see while you're staying in Athens, Greece specifically. Obviously, this does not touch onto the islands or going into northern Greece or anything like that. This is specifically when you are staying in Athens, and usually for everything that I did, you might need about a week. I was there for a full month, but I highly recommend checking out all of these places, and even more so. If you guys have been following for a while, you know that I did a huge series on Greece, particularly surrounding Athens. So if you really want to delve into that, I'll leave a link in the description for the playlist. You can check any of those videos out, kind of going into all the different neighborhoods and stuff, but this was kind of more of sharing my top 15 places and things to do when you are in Athens, Greece. But anyway, guys, if you liked the video, give it a big old thumbs up, and of course, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Hit that notification bell so you know when any of my new videos come out. And of course, if you want to help support this future travels, I do have both a Patreon page and a Buy Me a Coffee account, and I do very much appreciate the support. And until we meet again, guys, peace out and have a great night.